how's it going? This is TEX. Today we're going to be talking about the drama triangle. Hopefully I'll be able to fit all this in, so I'm going to be fast and furious, people. If I have to, I'll add a second video in to help wrap everything up, but I'm going to work and see if I can get this understood. So the idea of the drama triangle, it's the Karpman Drama Triangle. That's K-A-R-P-M-A-N. And this person devised a way or proposed an idea of how to view the way that drama plays out between people and how they interact. And it's also very closely related to transactional analysis. And you can look up transactional analysis. That's by Eric Berne, E-R-I-C-B-E-R-N-E. So the idea is if you take a triangle, right, and you spin it so that the base is up on top and it comes to a point down here, you'll notice that that naturally forms what looks like a V on the bottom. And within this triangle is three individuals. It's almost like an act or a movie or a scene in a play where you have some people who are victims. Now, this isn't someone who's an actual victim, could be, but it's more or less someone who's playing the victim in this drama triangle. You also have a rescuer and you have a persecutor. Now, the way the drama triangle plays out is you have to start to understand how people are getting their needs met and what they're doing to feel fulfilled, to find their place, their old habits, and stuff like that. Now, the way I break this down is in my basic Wally World explanation. So if you've been shopping at Wally World, and for you people from the country, you know exactly what I mean when I do Wally World. The way I play this out is I take the characters and I pull them from a normal situation in the parking lot and show you how the drama triangle plays out. So let's say an individual went in there and they went shopping and they come out and they find that they have a flat tire. A normal reaction to this would be, oh my gosh, I have a flat tire. You know, you might say a few nasty words. You might stomp your foot. You get upset. At that moment, though, you can choose to either be a problem solver or play in the drama triangle. A problem solver will sit there and figure out, okay, what do I need to do to get my tire fixed? What do I need to do in order to get back on the road again? So they may think for a second, say, okay, I need to pick up the phone and start calling some friends, see if I can find somebody who can come here and help me if I can't change it myself. If I can change it myself, then I pop open the trunk, get the jack, and change it myself. Now, for the sake of our little play here, the person who's doing that flips open the trunk, looks in, and there's no jack. You get upset, you get mad again, you problem solve. You start calling people. Hey, can I get you to help me? I need a jack. Can you stop by? Every person that you ask to help makes a choice whether or not to help you if they want to or not, based upon their personal ability to do so and their decision and desire to or not to help. Now, this is where I get real defined in this. When a person tells you no, they do not owe it to you to explain why. Because the minute they start doing that and you start giving them the why can't you, you start going into the drama triangle. When you ask someone to help you and they say they can't and you start giving them a hard time, well, I thought you was my friend. I thought you were going to help me. Why aren't you doing that? You're acting like a persecutor. You are persecuting that person. You are being mean to them. You're trying to guilt them or shame them into helping you. You're trying to turn them into a victim for you, because you want them to rescue you. Notice we're already starting to play into the triangle to force someone into being your rescuer and that you're the hapless victim. So let's say that that doesn't work. Problem solver, and you've called people and nobody's helping. You can look around and find somebody who, looks reasonably safe to you and ask them if they have a jack, if they can help you. You can also decide to go into Wally World and buy a jack, bring it out, change your tire. Problem solved on the road. Amazingly, though, you'll see a lot of people don't do that. Many people will go into an immediate victim and start going, oh my, woe is me. Why does it happen to me? I never have any luck. Nothing ever good happens to me. Notice you hear it there. They're going into this problem statement, but they're not actually asking anyone for anything. They're just going off about how things are. If you've ever been somewhere and someone starts doing this and you don't offer them help, they may even get to that point and go, well, why didn't you offer to help me? You've seen I needed help. And that's when I usually look at people and I go, you didn't ask for help. I thought you was actually just letting off steam. If you needed help, why didn't you simply ask for help? Well, you should just know. Oh, wait, we just went into mind reader, which is another one of those cognitive distortions. They're just thinking everybody reads their mind and knows what they want. You might just be going off and you don't really want help, because I've had people do something. If I offer to help them, they're like, no, I'll do it myself. Okay. So when they start playing that victim mode, that, oh my, woe is me, picture them at the bottom of that triangle in that V. What they're waiting for is someone to come out that store and look at them and decide to play rescuer mode. Now, how does that happen? Well, let's just say for our little story that this damsel in distress, just like the old-fashioned castle dragon, the whole nine, this damsel in distress is hollering from her tower, oh, woe is me, I have a flat tire. What am I going to do? Out comes yonder knight from the store. He looks across the parking lot and he sees his damsel in distress, and he dons his shield and he climbs on his horse and he goes trotting over there. Don't worry, I got this. Stand back. I'm going to fix this for you. I'll get your tire changed. I'll do it. He didn't ask specific questions. What do you need? Maybe this person just needs to borrow a jack. Maybe they don't need you to actually change the tire for them. Maybe they need you to just give them instructions because they don't know how to change the tire. Highly possible if you've never changed one. The rescuer, though, jumps in and starts doing things, and a lot of times without even being asked to do it. And somewhere along the line, we got trained that this is the way to behave and just jump in and help people. And I always caution people about being Mr. or Mrs. Helper. Until you gather more information, how do you know you're helping correctly? And do you have permission to help? There are certain situations where it is just understood that that person came for help. There are other situations where it's not so clear and you don't have permission to help. And you ask, well, what's going on here? What's the problem? This person needed a tire change. This person's going to jump in and change it for them. Isn't everybody happy? No, they're not. And the reason they're not is if you look closely to that triangle, you'll notice that the rescuer is at an upper corner of the triangle, at upper point, and the person who's playing the role of victim is a lower point. And we call that one up and one down. And a lot of times, if you've been in the one down role, you know what that feels like, because at some point you feel upset and disturbed that other people you have to look up to for help and assistance. That can be, a little unsettling to you. The person who's one up, it's too easy for them to look down on people that they see as playing the victim. Ha, I'm better than you. I have the power. You need me. And that's how they get their needs, their jollies filled, is by putting that role in and feeling superior. Now, again, I'm not saying that everyone who helps is doing this. There's a difference between helping and rescuing. Helping someone is when someone specifically states what they want or need, and you help fulfill that. And you don't fulfill it any more than you are willing to do. In other words, you're not going out of your way to do things that you don't want to do. You're not doing things that you really shouldn't be doing. You're able to give them. And there is that, in that point, there's two people being, together, collaborative, working together to fix a situation. But in our story, that is not what happened. You have the damsel in distress and the knight in shining armor. Dun, 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 dun. And you still say, well, what's the problem? Everyone's getting what they want. Not quite, because the person who's down here playing this role may not like it. They may start to feel bad. Or it may have been their purpose all along to lure you in to do it when they really are going to smack you. Watch the shift. The damsel in distress who's waiting for the tire to be changed, and the guy's down there doing all the rescue, and he's taking a little while. It's hard work. And our damsel in distress could easily just look down and go, if I knew it was going to take you this long, I could have got a real man over here. Pop. Now, why would someone do that? Why does anyone do that? By making that comment, that person just shifted to this other corner in our triangle, and now they are the persecutor. And why would they do that? By smacking the rescuer, if they allow it, will fall down into the victim role. Because the person will be like, oh, wow, I'm sorry. Yeah, I guess I'm not doing a good job. Oh, yeah, okay, I'm sorry, I'm not good enough. On the flip side, the person who's playing the rescuer mode might feel, hey, you owe me something. So he's fixing the tire, and he looks up and he goes, hey, damsel in distress there, can I have your phone number so I can call you later? Now, that's a legitimate request. He met somebody he likes, or it could be not so legitimate a request because he feels now you owe him something. Two things could happen here. One, your rescuer, when they ask for that, the damsel in distress could go, hey, excuse me, Mr. Knight. I appreciate it. I've already got someone I'm going with. I'm already in a relationship. And it could be an honest answer. Again, it's your right to say no. The rescuer, though, the knight, might get indignant, upset. Oh, fine, I'm good enough to change your tire, but I'm not good enough to actually, talk to you on the phone. Oh, look at you. And notice what he just did. He shifted from rescuer straight over to persecutor, hoping to smack you while you're in that victim role so that you'll owe him something and you'll feel bad about things. And a lot of times we do in our society try to control people with shame and guilt. And that's being persecutor. So now you've noticed how not only do we start to define these roles, but we also see how we shift between them. Sometimes people will come up to you and want you to be their victim. They look for people in distress. They look for people who they can jump in and help. And that's how they get their needs met in their mind in this drama triangle. Some people walk around being the persecutor. I'm sure you know someone who goes around smacking other people, saying mean things, trying to put people in that mode. And you also have people who go around playing the victim role. And again, you ask, well, what's going on here? How is this person who's playing this victim role, this scene in this play, what are they getting out of that? Interestingly enough, they're getting their needs met without actually having to ask you for anything. They just sit and complain. Let's shift our scene to the office and see how this works again. Let's say, we'll take me this time. I'm sitting at my desk. I'm way behind. There's papers all over my desk. Now, it could be that I legitimately have a problem, or it could be that I'm just not doing my work. If I start complaining, though, woe is me, I can't get my work done, I'm always behind, oh, what am I going to do? Notice I'm not problem solving. I'm trying to get somebody to rescue me. And in this sense, I'm trying to force people. Because if somebody comes in the office and they don't offer to help me, I'll be like, wow, gee, you've always got your stuff together. You're always ahead, and I just can't seem to catch up. I still haven't asked anything, but I'm pushing. I'm trying to get you to be my rescuer. Now, a lot of times the rescuers, and those people in the office, they're too willing to jump in there and go, all right, hey, you know what you're going to do? I got this. We're going to get your desk straight. We're going to make everything neat for you. You're going to have everything so that tomorrow morning when you work, your job will go smooth. And here enters the game. And to me, this is one of the brilliant things of Eric's transactional analysis is The Games People Play. And that's a good book. You can look that up online too. In the games that people play, people shift roles, and it is almost like a game. And if you look at your life, games are where kids learn. Games are where people learn. This game is called the yes but game. It's one of my favorite games to watch go down, and you will see it all the time. The person says all these things about what you can do to straighten your desk, and then here you hear it. Person goes, yeah, but and if it's me in this case, again, I'm playing it as me. So yeah, I'm so busy. I don't got time to do all that right now. See, that's my first pass on taking your advice, your unsolicited advice, and smacking you. So you'd come back twice as hard. Oh, well, hey, you know what then? Fine. This evening, when it's the end of your shift, I'm going to come back and we're going to stay 15 minutes late and we're going to get all your stuff done. So tomorrow morning you start off fine. Yeah, but I really like to go watch my Netflix at night, and I'm just tired, and I ain't got time to stay at night. Now I could be fishing you to get you to do the work for me. Or more likely than not, I've got you caught in my game now. Because now you're desperate to prove you can help me because I've smacked you twice. So you come back with another one. Well, then come in tomorrow morning early and we'll start early. I'll be here for you. We'll get this thing straightened out. Oh, no, I can't come in early. I need my beauty sleep and I have to do my hair in the morning. I just don't have time for all that. And as you start to run out of our ideas, every time you do that, I will yes but you with this new idea, and you just dwindle them on down to nothing. And then here comes the real hook. After you've done all that, I'll look at you and go, well, yeah, it's okay. I shouldn't have asked you for advice. I should have known that you wouldn't be able to help me. Oh, just deflated your tire because you came in, again, riding that horse, ready to slay that dragon, and I neatly laid you out for the dragon to eat. You will see this happen a lot during your day. Somebody may come up to you and, you see another person walks in and goes, oh, wow, John, you look like you've lost a lot of weight. And John may be all happy about it. Oh, yeah, it's the greatest thing ever, and I did this new something diet, or I've been exercising, or I've been doing this thing. And you can see the setup coming. Because the person will go, wow, I really wished I had time. I really wished I could do that. I really wished I knew how. Diets just never seemed to work for me. And they're playing the victim role. They're back at that bottom. And they're fishing you in. They have no intention of doing anything that you say. It's just difficult for you to resist because you want to help people. So you're, oh, no, look, you can do this diet. You can lose this weight. And I'll be the first one to say, I'm just as bad about that. There was a time when I was, the big time helper until I started to realize what was going on. And I decided not to play in that triangle and to step out of it. People used to get up, you was able to go back to college. You was able to do that and this and that. Oh, that'd be great. I wished I could go to college. I wished I had a college degree. I wished I could get a job, and this and that. And I was so quick to jump in and go, this is how you can do it. This is what you need to do. This is where you can get the money to do it. This is how you can do it. I was just so quick to jump in. They never asked me to help. I guarantee you, no matter what I said, oh, I can't do that. Oh, I don't have time. Oh, it's too late for me. Every excuse in the book. It's the yes, but game all over again. And the yes, but game is just one of the many games in transactional analysis. I really encourage you to look this one up and learn these games because you will see them go down all the time. In this case, they're trying to get you to rescue them, and all along knowing that you can't. And that's how this triangle plays out. And you go, well, how do you get out of the triangle, TEX? It seems like my whole world is this. Well, one, if somebody's just stating a problem for any old reason, they're just in there complaining, I handle it a little different. If I come into the office and somebody's standing there complaining about the work they can't do, I will look at them, and depending on my past experiences and how they're doing, I give everybody a chance. I may offer to help. Odds are, though, that I feel though if they're just going through a complaint cycle, then I will say, fine, you know, that sounds like an interesting problem. I'm sure you can handle it. And I head on back to my office. By going through and saying that you can handle it, I'm giving you credit as being an adult, as being a problem solver. And after all, you didn't ask me for anything, so why should I give you anything? You didn't ask me for help. And even if you did ask me for help, I would go through a litany of questions to find out specifically what you want, because I always tell people before you try to help, please find out what exactly is wrong, what resources you have, and tailor your answer to that individual and that individual situation. Life is not one answer fits all problem situation. You have to tailor your answers and your strategies to the situation in hand and the resources you have. Now, the person may get upset and go, oh, well, I can't believe you're not going to help me. See, that's when you know they're begging you to play rescuer. You're doing them a favor by not rescuing them. No one ever grows and learns how to be a problem solver if you're always fixing their problems for them. If you are a parent, a spouse, a friend who's always fixing someone's problems, that person has no need to fix their own problems. How are they ever going to learn? How are they going to learn to communicate if they can't simply state what they want or need? You know, you think, why is that a problem? And do they really want help? It's not that hard to say, and see, this is where I say, this isn't a game when someone comes up to you and says, I legitimately have a problem. They say, I don't have a jack for my car. Can I borrow yours? See, that's problem solving. I don't know how to change the tire exactly. Can you give me advice on how to do it? Show me how to do it. Tell me how to do it. Stand over me and tell me what I need to do so that I don't mess up. You also have in these office situations, clarify. Sounds like you have a problem there. And give them a chance to go, well, I don't know what to do. Would you help me? Okay, sure. And then you gather information and help. Even when it comes to the old-fashioned just complaining. If someone comes up to me and says, you know, I'm frustrated and I just need a moment to download. If I agree and say, sure, I've got 5 before my next meeting, go for it. Then for 5 minutes, they can complain, fuss, do whatever they need to do, get it out of their system. Because a lot of times people do need that. They just need a sounding board to say something and let it out. And then they come up with their own solutions anyway. And if someone asks you for that and you give it to them willingly, then that's problem solving. That's not playing in the drama triangle. So think about all this and remember the triangle. It's easy to do because the bottom of that triangle, remember it's upside down, base is in the air. So the bottom comes down in that V. You can clearly see that. You can clearly see the rescuer and the persecutor. And for some people, it's easy to picture it like a comic book. You know, you have the person tied up on the train tracks yelling, help! And you have Dudley Do-Right or some other, you know, hero coming in to rescue this person. And of course, you have the bad guy trying to, you know, do something bad to the person who's playing the victim. The difference is in this, though, is the victim could be, but is not necessarily a real victim. They're just playing a role in the drama triangle. Just like the rescuer isn't necessarily really a rescuer, because a lot of times the stuff they do actually may not help the person who's having a problem. It's just designed to make them feel like the rescuer and to feel one up, to feel better. And sometimes the people who are playing persecutor. Maybe if you actually listen, some people who sound like a persecutor may not be. If someone comes in and tells you something that you don't like to hear, you take that as persecution. It's not always the case, especially if you ask them, is this good? Is this bad? Did I do it right? And they say, no, it's wrong. And then you take it as, oh, you hurt my feelings. Hey, duh, you asked them. And they gave you their legitimate answer. So now you're trying to get around the fact of whether it was right or wrong by playing victim and force them into rescue mode or to do it for you. So you see how that triangle's playing out. And we do it all the time throughout our whole day. We watch it until the moment you start to decide, no, I'm not playing in the drama triangle. I'm going to move over here and be a problem solver. Now, the last part of this, I'm going to give it to you how you don't need other people to play in this triangle. There are some who say that you need at least 2 people to play the games in the drama triangle. And I'm like, you have 2 in your own head. You have many personae. You have many voices from all of your family members and everything else. A lot of times it will be you yourself who is sitting there, and in order to feel okay with what you're doing, instead of problem solving, you get upset and play the victim to your own self because maybe you figured you need to go exercise. So what do? Instead of going and exercise, you sit there and you give yourself a litany of complaints to yourself about why you can't exercise. I don't have time. It's too difficult. The weather ain't right. My shoes aren't right. Something ain't right. There's a million things why you don't do it. And you're literally just telling yourself that. And then you will shift and become your own rescuer and go, well, yeah, I really did try. And, know my feeling about the word try. Try is not the same thing as do. Try is what you say when you have no intention of doing most of the time. So, oh, yeah, I tried. And you play your own rescuer, or you play your own persecutor. Oh, I'm just a horrible person. I should have went and exercised and ran like I said I was going to do, and I didn't do it. I'm just so bad and so horrible. You may even jump between all 3 of them, because then after you beat yourself for a little while, in order to feel good, you go to Starbucks and, or their super frappo grande, mocha, latte, hoppo, whatever the heck is with like 1 billion calories and, 200 million grams of sugar and, and it makes you feel good for a few minutes. And then after that, you immediately start to feel bad because you consumed all this stuff you shouldn't have consumed instead of going and running, and you feel bad about beating yourself. So then you make the next jump, to go do something else bad, and then you persecute yourself for that, and then you feel bad and play victim, and then you rescue yourself again, and you can bounce in this triangle all day long, and you've never solved your problem. So I'm telling you, step out of the triangle, be a problem solver, figure out ways to ask for what you need and be specific. And if the person can't help you, don't play the drama triangle with them. Don't try to guilt them into helping you. Accept the fact that they're an adult. And for whatever reason, they don't have to justify to you why they can't help. They just won't help. Go somewhere else. Figure out another way to do it. Keep finding other ways to get your needs met. And if you have to, meet them yourself. In the end, it may be you that solves the problem. You have a world of information at your hands. You have the internet. You can use the internet to look up the information you need. And, hey, YouTube is great. It shows you how to change a flat tire there. So if you're stuck somewhere and you don't know how to change one, you can always look on YouTube. You can always Google stuff. There is so much information out there to find out what you need to do. So use it. Use the information to be a problem solver. Hope you have a great day. I hope you have a beautiful Sunday. I hope this helps you. And like I said, look all this stuff up. I think it's great. You can find the Karpman Drama Triangle. Big write-up on that. Look up Eric Berne and transactional analysis. And next video, I'll probably go into some detail about some further things in transactional analysis that I find very useful when doing therapy. because to me, this drama triangle and transactional analysis are absolutely excellent ways to understand your world so that you can better your life. You take care. Have a beautiful day.